How are you guys doing
What's up?
today?
I'm doing well. It's a
All right.
Wednesday.
Oh, I just muted myself. I'm doing great. It's really nice to see you both.
Yes.
There we go. So you guys want to quickly introduce yourselves?
Sure. I'm Peter Wolcott. I work in the Catalyst Swarm Project Catalyst community. And yeah, project manager. Love helping people unblock themselves and coordinate the ideas that they're trying to make into reality.
Awesome.
Off to you.
And I'm Reese. I run Stoic Pool, and I'm a Catalyst Circle rep for stake pool operators. And I'm building staking DAO, and I have another project called NFT Pass.
That's awesome. So today, guys, we're going live. We're going to cover some news in the ecosystem. We saw a little bit of a price pump on Cardano versus BTC today, and it has to do with the confluence of events that are happening right now within the Cardano ecosystem that I covered in my previous live stream. And today we have our two guests here who are going to cover us on what's going on in the Catalyst ecosystem. And we're going to talk about voting is tomorrow, right, guys? Voting ends tomorrow?
On the 5th.
Right.
Yep.
So if you guys are registered to vote, don't forget to set your ballots. We're gonna talk about that, and we're just gonna have a good time.
May the 4th
Awesome.
be with you.
Yeah. So I'm not in my usual setting today. I'm working out of a coffee shop. So you're gonna hear stuff in the background.
So
Just
good.
don't get distracted by it, mate.
Don't get distracted. Yeah, my dog was just having dreams.
The only distractions I have here are you two.
That's good.
Yeah, sorry about that.
More than enough of a distraction. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
And together we're a right pain.
Yeah, right, pain. Well, thank you for having us, though.
Yeah. Well,
it's been a while, man. Have you been well?
Yeah, I feel good. I mean, besides the market downturn, everything is going well, and we're still here. So we're hanging on tight. There are some good developments that are happening right now. The JED coin, stable coin testnet has just been released yesterday, I believe it was. Yeah, exactly. And we also have a couple other developments. We just have wrapped Bitcoin on Wesley Slop. Wesley Swap version 2, wrapped BTC, which is
muesli, it's a European thing, I think. It's muesli. It's fancy
it's not
European
an American.
breakfast.
It's definitely not an American thing. It's certainly not an American thing. We have oatmeal here.
Yeah.
We have Quaker oatmeal.
Quick oats. Get out.
Exactly. We have Quaker oatmeal, and if you're lucky, you can get some. What do we call it? What are those, like overnight oats? I guess if you're lucky, you can have some overnight oats. But no, we don't have muesli. How do you say it again?
Muesli.
Yeah, we don't do that here. But
do that.
I mean, he does.
Don't even bother trying.
You do grits though over here in Tennessee, huh?
I actually had some grits in Florida this weekend, but yeah, I'm not a huge grits fan. I'd rather have oatmeal, honestly.
Yes, I mean, I've only had grits like I'm up here in the east. I'm up here in the northeast. I'm near Philly, and it's like I think I've only had grits like once in my whole life.
Yeah,
and I didn't like it.
I have no idea what grits is.
I don't
care to explain it. Care to explain it, Peter?
It's got to be. No, I don't know, dude. I should have looked at the ingredients label.
Well, what is muesli?
You got to stop eating things you don't know.
That's true. I think that's a principle everyone should abide by.
Muesli is basically like some nuts, some oats, and some like raisins or fruit and stuff in a bowl.
Okay.
That's it. It's like a cereal, basically.
Yeah. Sounds like overnight oats with some, fresh.
You don't overnight it though. You just stick it in fresh, splash of milk, munch it down. It's pretty good.
Okay. Just chew up the oats. All right. No cooking. Cold cereal oats.
Who has warm cereal? Psychopaths. That's who.
Maybe that's why I'm so
That
messed
guy.
up because maybe that's why I'm so messed up because my parents used to feed me warm cereal.
Yeah. Oh, mine did
Oh,
too,
well.
like all the time.
Yeah, like put the, warm up a little bit of milk, heat up the milk, put it on the cornflakes, makes it all soggy, turns it into like an oatmeal.
Yeah.
That sounds crazy.
My dad would make fresh like grain cereals on the stove in the morning and everything. All sorts of fancy different types of grains too. It's interesting.
That's basically muesli.
Yes, basically
Chuck
muesli.
a couple
I'm
raisins in
basically a
there.
psychopath, I guess. Warm cereal. It's
Swedish
Wednesday.
psychopathic.
Well, now they're sprinkling some Bitcoins on there. So that's a wonderful thing to Cardano, to add Bitcoin to our decentralized exchanges. And Jed is coming in addition to that. And we also have all these new lending protocols that are coming out. So the AADA, I don't know how to pronounce it, ADA Finance decentralized lending protocol is coming with a testnet this week, or I think they said they're going to announce their testnet date this week. And that is the first NFT bonding, first NFT bond issuer on the Cardano blockchain. And these sort of like, this is like sort of an innovative new thing. It's like these are the kinds of things that will cause these catalyze price changes in Cardano. We can start to see the value of our assets increasing as the utility of the blockchain increases. So
yeah,
I'm just going to share my screen real quick, show you a couple of things on my charts, and then we're going to talk about catalyst proposals in a little bit here, and kind of go over some stuff. So how do I share my screen here? Click share screen.
I always find TA is very similar to like the weather.
It is.
Do you know what I mean?
It is.
So I feel like you should do it like a weatherman, Mustafa. I think that'd be quite fun.
Yeah. I'm not trying to, to be honest with you, like I don't want to try to take things like that seriously where I have to be like, this, a news anchor with like a news anchor voice and all this stuff. Like people do that on YouTube, and I'm like, it's just not my thing. I'd rather just keep it casual, have it conversational, make it fun. I can't be myself if I'm trying to be like a weatherman or like a news anchor, trying to be like one of these, old style, old paradigm. It's like an old paradigm thing to try to be like a news anchor. Like
it's like slightly inauthentic.
Yeah. It's like I'm not trying to read a teleprompter or anything like that. I'm just trying to keep things like I'm at a coffee shop, doing a live stream out of a coffee. Like it's 2022. Like come on. Yeah.
All right,
so,
show us these graphs.
Yeah, we're gonna jump into it. A couple quick announcements. So I got my website up now, thecardanoguy.com. Make sure you go there, subscribe for the free reports that I'm putting out. Got some merch available as well. If you're interested, you want to get your shirts for Consensus 2022, go to thecardanoguy.com/merch, and also be sure to get your free reports. I'm kind of like the Plato of Charles Hoskinson, where I'm writing all of Charles Hoskinson's dialogues down and monologues, and creating them into reports and giving them away. So you can get your first 3 reports for free. Just go over to thecardanoguy.com and register for that. So let me close out all these freaking windows that I have open that I shouldn't have open. But the charts are, here we go. It's totally unprofessional the way I'm doing things. All right, so a little bit of a price break here on Cardano, on Bitcoin. But most importantly, this is what I was looking at, the ADA BTC chart. We're gonna literally look at this for 5 seconds and then we're gonna move on. We're seeing a price break here. That's the only thing I wanted to point out. This is when the announcement of JET happened, and now we're seeing an increase in price. Whether this is going to sustain or not, no idea, but it doesn't really matter. We're still building. We're still doing our thing. We're still working, right, guys?
Yep, every day.
100%.
All right, cool. So moving on, we got a couple. So we each of us have our own catalyst proposal, right? I want to give us a chance to, first of all, encourage people to go vote and talk about our favorite proposals. We don't have to talk about our own proposals. We can talk about our favorite ones. The other day, I put out on my Twitter account a list of proposals that I'm supporting. And if you guys want to see that list, you just go over to my Twitter account that I was showing you, and you'll be able to see that list. But so, Reese, you want to tell us about your proposal real quick?
Oh, I have quite a few proposals. I've submitted, I think, 12 proposals this funding for various different projects because of my role in the circle. It's kind of, I've been trying to encourage more stake pool operators to submit proposals, and a part of that has basically been me doing the work for them, which I'm cool with. But my main proposal is for staking DAO. And well, I have two main proposals. Is that possible? Two priorities, right? One is staking DAO, and that is like an auto staking feature, basically. So a user comes to a platform and they pick a group of stake pool operators to support rather than one, or as well as one if they want to do that separately. And then the DAO basically automatically distributes and balances stake across that particular pool group. So that's a very high level understanding of what that is. And then
so
the second
my
one,
question
NFT
is,
Pass. Oh, sorry, go.
I was going to ask you about that. So before moving on to the second one, so like, what inspired you? Like, what was the problem that you're trying to solve with that? Like, what problem did you see that made you think, okay, this would be a solution, a good solution to?
There's a couple of things, right? But the main one is not about money. It's a DAO. It's about community.
This is like kudos. Like, I agree. It is confusing to do this.
You do it,
but people
there's no
do
way
the
to do it, right?
The snaps to like agree and like thumbs up. We're going. I like what you're saying. Keep going. But then it kind of looks like money too, because I've been doing it recently, and even like, oh, that kind of looked like I was. Anyway, same. Sorry. Go ahead.
So basically, it's a couple of things, right, that can all be solved by this mechanism, which is quite lucky, really. But it basically came from the pool ranking system being the major issue. So right now, if you go onto your wallet or onto a pool explorer, they're organized in like a top, like a rank. It's like a football table or whatever. And the problem with that is it grades pools, which is a misleading statistic or a misleading presentation of data. Okay, and what it does is it favors pools that are already full or close to full. And so that means that people who are new to the ecosystem don't understand or don't have the time to look for stake pools. Instead, they just see the top 10. And where do you think they delegate? I know where I delegate, not knowing anything. I go number one, just straight up. I wouldn't even think about it. Number one. Why else is it number one? All right. But as I said, that's very misleading. And what it does is it encourages stake pools to the top ones to fill up more and then split as a consequence, because if they're saturated, they produce less rewards for their delegators, right? So why wouldn't they split? And so having a DAO that automatically distributes it by organizing pools into groups instead of ranking them kind of solves that issue, because people choose based on their altruistic or decentralized centric views. So if you like eco-friendly pools, you just delegate to eco-friendly pools, and then the DAO would automatically do the work for you, right? Balance it. So that's the main issue really that it's trying to solve. But there are a couple of other things that it also tackles as well.
Okay. Like what?
Like pools that are non-functional. So, for example, there are some pools that we've seen in history, which people would only know about if they were stake pool operators, right? Normal people don't know about this kind of thing. But there are pools that stop producing blocks because people have lost their keys, or like the people have failed to rotate their certs and stuff like that. There's issues with the pool, but no one knows until it's too late. And the problem is you end up with or like the pool's closed, but people stay delegating to it. And that's because people like to set and forget staking. And so instead of having to not being able to get hold of delegators, what you can do is just the delegator can choose to delegate to a group, and then the DAO is in control of it. So if a pool isn't working anymore, the DAO isn't going to delegate to that pool. It's going to be removed. and that'll happen automatically. So people don't need to worry about their stake. They can literally set it and forget it, which is what people generally like to do, and make it super easy and beneficial for everyone, which is the whole purpose of the DAO. It helps the delegator, and it helps stake pool operators who are struggling to get stake out of pools that have closed, right? Or just try and get some attention, because it's a very noisy market as a stake pool operator, and marketing your pool is very difficult as well.
Yeah, I always thought about, I don't own a stake pool. I haven't, and for the reason being that I feel like it would require quite a lot of effort to attract a delegation. So I always wondered how people who have such big delegations, what their secret was in attracting that delegation. What was their strategy? I'd be curious to see if there's a stake pool operator out there who has a good structured approach on how to attract delegation, because I have yet to find that person. And if you know that person, I'd love to meet them. I'd love to have them on the show and interview them.
$1 million question, mate. And the truth is that the most full pools either have people with a lot of ADA, like they know a couple of whales who are delegating to them, or they were so early that they were in the ITN, like the incentivized testnet, and got lucky when they moved into the main thing, maybe because they had a popular YouTube channel, for example, or something like that. And so the earliest people have benefited from being early, which is right. There's nothing wrong with that. So that's how most people have got to where they are. Not everyone, some people have just worked really hard, like really, really hard. And most people do deserve the success that they've had as a stake pool operator. There's nothing against any individual, but that's not the issue that we're trying to solve, right? We're just trying to help distribute delegation across the network to increase decentralization of blocks minted. So the more productive stake pools that we have, which is currently only about 1,000 stake pools mint a block every epoch, which is a third, right? It's a third of the amount of pools there are. So if we can increase that number to maybe like half or 60% of pools mint blocks, then we've done a very good job for decentralization.
Agreed.
Yes. Thank you.
Yeah, and Reese, if you ever figure out how to easily fill your stake pool, would love to have you on the show to let us know about that and share that knowledge.
Vote for Staking DAO, mate. That's the way. Get Staking DAO up and running.
There we go.
The idea is that it creates a rising tide of profitable stake pools, basically. So
we should be reaching out to all the stake pool operators out there and getting them on board with this idea. And aren't there like a few alliances out there?
Yep. Yeah, there are a lot of alliances, but the alliances are basically echo chambers of SPOs, right? So they're great for building a community of like-minded individuals, or like rallying behind a certain cause, like eco-friendly pools or like bare metal pools or something like that. But that's kind of where it ends, because everyone's busy doing their own thing. So the alliance as an entity isn't like, there's not one guy who's like in charge of marketing the alliance. But instead, there's loads of SPOs in a group who are all very busy individuals and don't have time to promote their own pool, let alone anyone else's, So it becomes like, it's great for community, and it's great for showing that you're aligned with a certain cause with your pool. But what the DAO basically does is it takes all those groups and sorts and just organizes them so people can delegate to them. So we have eco-friendly, we have bare metal, we have mission-driven, we have single pool operators, and we have seed pools. And we're looking to add 2 more as well. One which we have a separate proposal for, which is ISPO pools. So it'd be like an index fund of ISPOs, basically, where people can delegate to that and earn multiple different tokens all at the same time, rather than chasing ISPOs around the clock. And the other one is Ryuki pools, which is an abbreviation that I don't understand, but basically they're community supported pools. So they're pools that give their profits to the community, like Swarm, like WADA, like all these other projects, which are very they're very necessary, you know, like Peter's part of Swarm, so the work that he does as an SPO is huge for the community, it's huge for Catalyst. And the thing is, most people don't even know what that is, and it's not his fault, you know, it's just hard to cut through the noise as a stake pool operator. And there's more than just Swarm, you know, there are a lot of community oriented stake pools that are really struggling, and if they get funded, that means that better work can be done for the community. And it's quite important, I think, that they get funded or supported at least.
Yeah, I'll jump in here to clarify. I'm not an SPO myself personally, but I am a product of the Catalyst Swarm pool and the proposals that have been funded for that community. I earn monthly money that helps pay my bills from that pool and that community. So
based on the work that you do for the community,
yeah,
though.
based on the work that I do for Swarm. Yes, for Swarm.
Yeah.
In that, yeah, I'm a secretary, project manager. I'm an organizer inside that community. Yeah.
Excellent, excellent. Why don't we give Peter a chance to tell about his proposal, then we'll go back to Reese and he can tell us about his other proposals as well.
Sure thing.
Sounds great. Yeah, so I have a proposal called Catalyst Streaming Guild. Guilds are hot ideas inside Catalyst for getting people together to work on organizing people and creating working environments for people to be able to share information or help people set up things in certain ways. You know, it's just a team of people that have a focus. And so I have a proposal for the focus of creating a community inside Project Catalyst for streaming Catalyst content, with hopes of having a 24-hour weekend stream to that is kind of a synopsis of all the things that have happened during the week and whatnot for what's happening in Catalyst. So it's like kind of like a TV show over the weekend for Catalyst. And I want to get the group of people together who are active in the community, who are going to all these events, to stream those events, and then create a compilation at the end of the week to go into what would be a TV show over the weekend. And aside from, and that is, there are so many tools coming into the ecosystem like Dwork and that combine GitHub and Discord, and hopefully we'll be able to work with that company to get a wallet integration, because it is an Ethereum based tool, but it looks great, works pretty smooth. It has some bugs with the GitHub and whatnot integration with it, but we're figuring those out, and it's really cool. That's what I've been working on the last 2 weeks inside Swarm. I think we posted our first bounty that we filled and got we had someone in the community come up, I'll do the bounty. Yes, did the bounty. We got the product. Upload. It was to create shoot, what are those called? Like timestamps for a video that we had posted on our YouTube channel. So he did those. We uploaded. We refreshed the description on the YouTube video. We paid him, and that happened on Monday, all in one day, using all the tools that we've been experimenting with. So it was really cool that these guilds are now finding the tools that actually help us be able to interface with our communities in a way, as well as an important part of the Catalyst Streaming Guild proposal is a treasury team that is that my friends Miro and Andre are doing work for Catalyst Circle, Oversight Group, lots of different groups that have proposals that are already distributing money to the people in those groups. They've been doing automations in GitHub to track and document all this stuff. So an important part of Streaming Guild was their involvement in helping me be able to document and track all of the actions that I will hope to be instigating in the community with the funding that I get from that proposal. And yeah, I feel like the rubber started to meet the road on us being able to start quantifying that in a way, the documentation process using Dwork and being able to assign things to Discord roles and being able to post bounties to Twitter super easily in combination with these guys in the Treasury Guild. They're their own guild as well. Yeah, we're hitting the ground running, and I hope we get funded in Fund 8 here, because this is the time to really capture on all the tools that are already currently being experimented in multiple other communities. You mentioned, NFT Guild. We're playing with these tools, and we have some projects. And this is a Fund 7 proposal that one of the Swarm members put in to start a guild. So I've already been through one iteration of this, I'm saying. Yes. And so so the tools are there. I'm super excited. Hope we get funded come here in the next couple of weeks, and so we get to experiment. I think that streaming would be valuable to getting the voices of proposers and into the community, as well as more people who want to pick up bounties and start making money inside of Catalyst and whatnot, to be able to have opportunities to come into a guild who's focused in a certain area where they can help with easy stuff, just office stuff. And because that's what I do for my job. I'm an office jockey, a virtual office jockey. And yeah, anyway, I think that's good. Vote for Streaming Guild.
Yeah. Yeah. So be sure to paste your proposal in the comments of the tweet that I put out for this, so people can easily find it. And also, same goes for you, Reese. If you want to post your proposals, if you want to put a list on the comments there, that's fine. So what was your other proposal, Reese?
Streaming Guild's amazing, by the way. I love it.
Yeah, and Reese is a co-proposer on that proposal as well, so it'll be us doing that.
Get around a little bit.
Yeah, Reese gets around.
And if you want to ask any questions, Reese, about any of those proposals, anything that Peter says, feel free.
Well, yeah, just quickly, I guess the main thing with the Streaming Guild is about getting proposals seen, isn't it? Because there are some 1,500 proposals in Fund 8, just in Fund 8, and it's very difficult for people to actually get eyes on their proposal, and so hopefully, if that gets funded, we can work with yourself as well, Mustafa, as kind of working in like a collaborative effort to help get more proposals funded and help get more marketing material together for people who are trying really, really hard to launch something that could be hugely beneficial for the community. And that's one of the powerful things about the Streaming Guild, and I really hope it does get funded. Some good work we can do with that.
One thing to add, I just thought of it while you were talking here, is that Project Catalyst generates hours and hours of content that is fairly difficult to go watch retroactively. So providing people with the opportunity to hop into a live stream from Twitter, from wherever they want, allows them to participate in not like in the Zoom, but keep track in an environment that's a little more exciting. To watch something live, even if it's kind of, not necessarily boring, but slightly slow, because people are literally deliberating and fleshing out ideas and clarifying with each other constantly. So these conversations is pretty long. So if we can jump in alive from Twitter or whatever, or YouTube, Twitch, that makes it more accessible to that content. Yeah, for outside eyes.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I'm like a huge proponent of media, obviously, right? And I think the more channels we can get stuff out on, the better. But most importantly, uh, it would be great if there was a channel that we knew was the where most people are going to be checking. Well, I mean, YouTube is great, but the people that you want to talk to, where are they? And I think just having a dedicated channel for those people, Twitter is obviously great for that too. But yeah, I think Twitch might be a place that there might be a group of people that we haven't talked to yet.
Yeah, and with the streaming guild, the idea is to be able to broadcast. Imagine like the way I always describe it to people is like a 24-hour news channel, right? So there's always something going on. It could be an hour-long documentary at one point where they deep dive into some certain project. They go and follow someone around. And what we're trying to do with Streaming Guild is kind of create that for Cardano. So we would be able to stream that out to Twitch, to YouTube, to Twitter, to Instagram.
Yeah. The guild can have its own channel, and we can all contribute to that channel with
exactly
with the recordings and the streams that we've already collected as a group.
Yeah, exactly. And that's so it can help reach audiences in wherever they're comfortable consuming any kind of information or video, like exactly like you're saying, Mustafa. I think it's needed to help proposals, especially, and can extend out into much greater things, in future iterations. Yeah, vote the Streaming Guild. You got 18 hours.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where my
other proposals. Sorry,
and Reese, you're interviewing. You do interviews on your channel as well, right?
Yeah. So this fund, I've done 10 interviews or something, which doesn't sound like a lot, but that's a lot of work. It's so much work to have it recorded. And if we just had like a live stream, oh my God, it'd be so much easier. It'd be so much easier. Yeah. And
exactly,
the idea is kind of like get through it.
I don't like recording for that sole reason that it's actually a lot of work to record. I really like live streaming. It's way better. It's easier. It forces people to be honest because you can't really like cut and edit and stuff. Like you just have to go with the flow. And I think you can see like a real better picture of a person or of a proposal when it's off the cuff, when it's live, when it's unscripted, when it's unedited, just raw. And yeah.
Stop doing this, it's confusing me. I don't get your gestures. Sorry, mate. But yeah. Sorry, Mustafa. So my other proposal is called NFT Pass. And what NFT Pass is an NFT ticketing solution. So that's no secret that's an obvious solution to kind of connect technology with real life application. But there's issues with people who have tried to do that before, right? So a lot of projects who are trying to solve this NFT ticketing solution basically have two problems that are kind of the same across all blockchains. And one of them is time for blocks and one of them is transactions. So when you have a block, to be able to prove, most NFT ticketing solutions require a transaction, right? So you're either sending a token or you're burning a token as proof of ownership. And, that's fair enough. It's a solution. But the reality is that can be time consuming, require an internet connection. And it's not like, what if that block doesn't get minted? Like, what if that block doesn't get forged? Then it creates it creates friction, basically. And on Cardano, a block's 20 seconds, but it's actually confirmed after 4 blocks or 6 blocks. I think it's 4 blocks. So it's not just 20 seconds to confirm a transaction. It's actually 2 minutes, right? Which is too long. Imagine you're at a gig and you're trying to get in to see Pharaoh Monch, right? And you're queued outside and you've got to wait 2 minutes. Your mate's got to wait 2 minutes. The next guy's got to wait 2 minutes. It's going to take all day to get 1,000 people into an event, right? So it's not a very good solution. So I came up with a way to do it without transactions, without transaction time, without block time being an issue, without an internet connection, patented it. So I've got this the solution that I'm building for real world application where it could actually be used. And so that's what NFT Pass is basically. The idea is that it works through, you get confirmation through an air gap mechanism. So instead of sending a transaction somewhere, it uses zero knowledge proofs to verify ownership of an NFT. And then that would enable you access. And the good thing about that is it can be done on chain. People can keep their NFTs, their actual tickets, and it doesn't cost them money beyond actually buying the ticket in the first place. So it kind of solves a couple of problems all in one go. And I hope it gets funded because we also have like a DID integration that we're working on. I'm an Atala pioneer. So I'm working on the Atala Prism program as well. And yeah, there's a lot of scope for real world adoption of blockchain technology if this problem can be solved properly. And if my solution gets funded, then hopefully we can kind of nudge that in the right direction and keep that solution on Cardano, which is, you know, why we're all here, right? To keep it on Cardano.
Yeah, I really like that idea. I think that the more utility we can apply to Cardano, the more valuable it will become. And with it coming in more and more interoperable, this solution could end up somehow spilling over into more of a universal landscape of tools that could be used for ticketing and other, you know, uses like that. So I think it's a great idea. By the way, do you have a programming or engineering background, or how did you get the ability to be able to create like this?
I just love learning stuff. Basically, I'm a personal trainer. I'm a gymnast. That's what I do. I basically got into blockchain a couple of years ago, and I built some websites and stuff for my fitness business and stuff like that. So I was familiar with very like HTML and CSS, which is far from coding or programming or anything. It's just basically normal text with like brackets around the edges, you know. But once
it's interesting. How does a fitness jock basically turn into a computer geek?
Yeah.
Well,
Autodidact. That's what you are.
Autodidact. Yeah, I was trying to skew from fancy words there, but that's exactly it, right? I love learning. I'm great at learning stuff. When I'm very excitable. That's the problem, right? Someone mentions something and I'm like, oh, what's this? You know, I'm like, oh, I need to learn it. And so I like to just dive in the deep end. I'm one of those people who learns how to fly by being pushed out of a plane. And with my job, because I work for like in the early morning and in the evening, basically, like I have time to learn stuff. So I spend a lot of time teaching myself stuff, taking courses and things like that. And so I spent probably a couple of years now learning Haskell and other programming languages to be able to do this kind of stuff. I've followed Plutus since it's kind of came about. The first pioneer cohort was probably about this time last year. And I was an official member of the third one, but I followed them before. And now I'm a member of the Atala as well. So yeah, I just love learning. And I see an opportunity and I'm like, right, if I learn this now, in 2 years when stuff starts getting rolled out, I can be building stuff and I can be solving problems like that. And that's kind of what I like to do, really. I also had a bit of an advantage in a lot of my clients are software developers, cybersecurity professionals, AI software programming people. So like I basically harass my clients for information as well. So I'm lucky because I PT in London that I have access to people who are at the top of their game. And I teach them handstands and they teach me programming. Basically, it's a good trade.
So you're like a bodybuilder / personal trainer / computer geek / YouTuber, and
I'm a complete geek.
I think that's great.
I also love bonsais. Like I love trees, and so I don't have a garden, right, in London. I live in a flat, so I've got these aces, and I'm making hundreds of bonsais basically. And so I'm one of those people who just loves indulging in things. Mustafa, to be honest with you, I love learning stuff. I get really excited about things, and then I just deep dive.
I'm similar to you in that. What about you, Peter? What's your sort of like professional background or educational background? How did you end up where you're at doing what you're doing?
Yeah, honest to God, right place, right time. I am a project manager by trade. I have a business degree and a chemistry minor. I like science, so I took a bunch of science in college as well. And yeah, practically backburnered a business degree. Just got it and and while focusing on science, and yeah, went straight into project management for local businesses. I've operated CNC machines. I've hung signs off the side of buildings. I've done all sorts of stuff in yeah, cut countertops in kitchens and sold kitchens to old ladies and happy families. It's just like I mostly local project management, and then I've taken that into the virtual office, and I'm getting to work with all these cool people inside Project Catalyst as their own little personal secretary with like no one's my boss, which I love. And so, but I get to help people all the time, and that's what I enjoy doing. So yeah, project management, but I'm a different type of project manager now. We've got some Scrum training, and yeah, getting in that agile life.
Awesome. Well, it's definitely good to have both of you guys teaching me all this stuff, because I'm just sort of stumbled my way into this world, and I have more of like a sales, marketing, sort of professional. That's like sort of my professional background, but I'm also kind of like a very avid learner as well. It's good to have you guys on. I think what we'll do is we'll try to make this more of I'm trying to build more of like a routine program. Like I've been doing a lot more live streams lately. I've been doing them with Low Fuss. We've been doing sort of macro stuff, but I would love to have you guys come on again and talk more about Catalyst, because Catalyst is just growing right now. How many proposals are in this fund?
Over 1,000, like 1,100 or something. I haven't checked recently.
Yeah, so it'd be nice to have. It's really hard to cover 1,000 different proposals. It'd be nice to do something where we can look at other proposals and sort of criticize them, and kind of like try to poke holes in them a little bit, maybe praise them a little bit, and do our own little thing. We don't necessarily. It's hard to get these people sometimes to come on and show that show their stuff, but maybe we can look at it and sort of examine things for ourselves. I did mention I have a pick list on my account. There's also another pick list by Christoph.
You cut out, boy.
You muted yourself.
Sorry about that. Yeah, sorry. Can you hear me? Yeah. So I was saying the stuff at the STOPHE. He put out a slide presentation of his pick list, and his pick list had a few things that I didn't have on mine, and I thought it was really good. I think some really important ones, I think, like our Orbis and like things that are like really infrastructure, Cardano infrastructure related. So those are the kinds of things I'm interested in covering. So I'll bring you guys back in and we can talk about others' proposals. And of course, supplement it with our own proposals, because we want people to vote for us. We need your votes to help us succeed and continue to do these things. And as long as we're providing value for you guys, we don't see why you should vote for us. So I think we'll continue to do these things, help us support our proposals, help you find good proposals for yourselves to vote for. And yeah, Fund 8 is already pretty much coming to an end. So if you're not already registered to vote, it's come too late for you, but we'll be doing a lot more for the upcoming Fund 9. So I think people are going to really appreciate that. What do you guys think about all that?
Love it. Yeah, I just made a Google Calendar with the whole funding, a shareable Google Calendar with the whole Fund 9 funding cycle, and you can come hit me up in the Swarm Discord. I'll give it to you. Just ask for it anywhere in there. I'll find you.
We'll make sure that we'll make sure you present that on the next time you guys come on and guest host with me. So you want to maybe have a few things. We'll do a little bit more screen sharing where we can look at more visuals and stuff like that, rather than look at our pretty faces, but our handsome faces. But I think it would be better for us to try to have more of like a structured program in the future going forward.
Some show and tell.
Yeah,
I like
sounds
it.
Great.
Yeah,
sounds great.
Yeah, so I think we'll probably wrap it up here. Is there anything else you guys want to talk about, or other proposals you want to bring up?
There are so many. Oh
There's
my
so
god, there are
many.
so many
This
proposals.
is good. This is button it up. I'm good.
Yeah.
I gotta head into the town hall, into the green room to get going for that here in like 3-4 minutes. So I'm good.
All right, cool. So funding, the fund date voting is going to end tomorrow morning, I believe, and so we'll probably won't do another live stream about fund date. But the next time you see us, we'll be talking about Fund 9.
Love it.
Love
So
it.
that's it for today, guys. If you're following us on Twitter, you guys want to just shout out your Twitter handle?
Sure. At Sir Wolcott.
Mine's Stoic Pool.
Yep.
And you guys make sure to put comments in the Twitter thing so people can see you. And if you're on YouTube, which we're streaming on YouTube as well, like, comment, subscribe. And if you guys comment your YouTube channels on this video, people will see that as well, and I'll put it into the description. That's it for today, guys. Thanks for joining me today, and I'll see you in the next stream.
Thank you, Mus. So good to see you.